backup sources of heat, and you're going to be able to extend that time for at least a while. You have to, like I said, you have to do this one at a time. Okay, you have to do it slow. You just can't go out and purchase. I mean, I guess you can. I'm not rich enough, and most of the folks that I know aren't rich enough to just go out and buy several thousands or millions of dollars worth of supplies and gear and all this stuff to be able to get through it. That doesn't mean that we have to give up trying. Okay, so whatever the event is that you are planning for, this is the event that you need to, whatever your greatest concern, that's the event that you should start to plan for first. Okay, so now we're going to get into the facts. Now, once we have identified what the event is, now we're going to collect facts about the area. Now, the facts are exactly that. They're facts, not I think, I guess, well, this is a fact, and facts are typically the geophysical area in which you are and the society and economic and energy things that are around you. Okay, so first thing that we're going to talk about is the geography. What is, where are you geographically located? In your plan, you can also place, either an address or the spatial coordinate to that location. Okay. Excuse me. The other thing that you want to consider is what kinds of things are around you. Are you near industrial plants? Are you near fertilizer plants? Are you near sewer plants? Are you near fertilizer plants, chemical plants? Anything that can potentially cause additional secondary, tertiary types of disasters, effects. If something happens, if you're like near a nuclear plant and the power goes out, is that going to be a problem? Yeah, it could be. So another one would be like petroleum plants. Petroleum plants typically have storage tanks of oil and gas, which are flammable. So those can become potential hazards to your health, okay, or to your safety. So now the next thing is water. What types of water resources do you have around you? Is there a lake, a stream, a creek, a spring, a well? What is the water situation around you? And then is that water potable? In other words, can I drink it? If I have a pond, but it's a stagnant pond, it may not be something that you want to drink. Okay, so water. Now, this is not water that you have purchased and stored. This is water, actual natural water resources. Like I said, ponds, streams, lakes, rivers, whatever. What is the soil that's around there? Is the soil, silty clay? Now, there are sites that you can go to and that I use. USGS has a lot of this stuff. There's a lot of different sites that you can get this information from. So like I said, if you're looking for these things and need to contact me and I will help you to get that information. Okay. The other thing that you want to consider, and it kind of ties in with slope as well as the soil, but is the area that you are in, is it susceptible to mudslides or avalanches? Do you have like cliffs with rocks near your location? If so, where are they, and are they able to cut you off from the outside world? Okay. Again, we have the slope. Slope also, what's the slope in the area? If it's flat, is it susceptible to flooding? If it's hilly, it could also be susceptible to flooding. That town, Ellicott City in Maryland, the town is built at the bottom of like in the valley of two fairly significant hills, which means that all of the water that falls on it runs down the hill and runs into the city. And it's had two like 100 or 1,000-year floods within the last 2 or 3 years. Okay. Me, that means that you should probably think of someplace else to seek refuge in. Vegetation. What's the vegetation around you? Is there a lot of trees? Is there a lot of what we call weeds, but weeds that can be edible? Queen Anne's lace is basically a wild carrot. There's what I call wild onions, which I don't know, they may be more like chives. But there's also wild garlic. Is there blueberries, blackberries? The trees coniferous or deciduous? That means, are they like pine trees or are they like oaks and hickories, hardwoods? All of these are going to be indicators as to how well food will grow in that region, okay, and what types of food will grow in that region. Drainage. What is the drainage pattern on the site? The drainage pattern, and you can look it up. There's about 5 different types of drainage patterns, and the drainage patterns give you an indication of what is under the surface of that, what beyond the soil. It's the geological outlay. Dendritic patterns basically look kind of like a tree where the streams kind of run together and create like a tree limb shape pattern, and those are indicators of kind of a uniform types of soil. Radial patterns means that there's some geological features under there. The radial pattern is actually a pattern that indicates previous volcanoes. Okay. There's also rectangle, which means there's potential faults under the ground. All of these things are going to be indicators that we're going to use to determine how safe the location that we are in really is. Okay. And one of the biggest things is, again, how well will this area drain? Is it going to be prone to flooding? So the other thing are, what are the human structures that are around you? And again, we're looking for the different types of hazards that potential. But these features are also include roads. What types of roads are on the site in which you are? The trails, are they paved, meaning all-weather hard surface roads? What roads lead up to the property? How many roads lead up to the property? Okay. Some of this is going to come into play when we get into the security aspects of this. The ability to analyze a person that potentially means to do you harm. Okay. The other aspect is, what are the railroads? Are there railroads near you? Railroads also have potential to impact your safety because of the cargoes that are carried on the railroads. A lot of the radiological nuclear site waste is transported by rail, and a lot of chemicals are transported by rail as well. So all of these things are additional potential hazards that you may have to face and that you need to be aware of. Okay. Then how well maintained are these roads, and then who does the maintaining? The other possible structures, what dams, windmills, oil or gas wells are in the area. I know in West Virginia, because I was looking for property in there at one time, years and years ago, the mineral rights for all of the West Virginia was sold. And there's a lot of properties that actually have oil and gas wells that Um,